You guys can see how tired I am in my face. Look at me. I'm exhausted, and this has been a lethargy that's been growing. Um, so I told you guys I travel quite a bit. I go out of town every single week. I fly out of town. I'm out of town for minimum 3 days, sometimes 6 days. Just the other week, I was gone for 10 days. That's why I haven't been on the Patreon quite as much. It was 2 weeks in a row. I was gone. Um, I get little chances to come home here and there, upload some YouTube vids, but life on the road is just exhausting. Um, but here's the thing: I feel like I just have never rested anymore, and I think ultimately it comes down to I'm just too freaking heavy now, and it's pushed me to the point where I think I need to start trying to cut, and not even cut per se in terms of dieting or whatever that kind of stuff. Just throwing cardio in, just doing more of that kind of doing some wind sprints or the bike sprints or uh, just bike rides. Maybe some hill sprints. Maybe just going for very short jogs, that kind of stuff. Because I'm just getting too freaking heavy, and I 100% certain I have sleep apnea because I never feel rested. Every single morning, I'm absolutely exhausted, even when I wake up. And then midway through the day, like let's see, it's 5 o'clock right now. Um, Around now, 4, 5, 6, I literally can just fall asleep in the middle of activities. Like so, just the other day, I was playing a game with my daughter, and I just fell asleep. And that's common. It's common. So I'm suffering from just extreme fatigue and exhaustion. And it's kind of, it's catching up to me in my workouts too. I don't have that same oomph. You know what I mean? Like, first when I got heavier, it's like, okay, I'm bigger, I feel stronger. But now it's just like, I feel terrible, right? Just too heavy, just too much fluff on me, too much bloat. It's time to cut. You know what I'm saying? Plus, this is a good thing because at the end of the day, cardio, cardio is the secret for heart health, right? Work out the heart, strengthen the heart. It's the only form of exercise obviously lifting weights and stuff is good for you. It's good for your heart too, but you got to do cardio for your heart, right? And I think it's just someone like me that wants to get jacked and stacked and powerful. A lot of times I'm in denial. I'm like, I don't need to do cardio. I don't need cardio. I work out a lot. I'm healthy. My cholesterol's good. And that may be, but heart disease runs in the family, right? And my uncle had a heart attack at 43. My grandpa died of a stroke. My other grandpa died of a heart attack. All my relatives have high cholesterol or high blood pressure. Ultimately, it's just got to be responsible now and just do a little cardio, and hopefully it's increases like my work capacity in a sense, and just leads to better workouts anyways, right? Like some stuff's exhausting, like doing lifting the keg, right? Any sorts of squats for reps, lunges, all that kind of stuff is really taxing on the heart anyways. So the more fit you are, the better workouts you'll have, the less time you'll need to recover in between sets, and ultimately you'll just you'll get more volume in or more high intensity sets within that workout. So ultimately it's a win-win all around to be in better cardiovascular condition. It just sucks because I'm used to half my life just wrestling, and that was like all the cardio I would ever need. I was in great cardiovascular shape. In fact, too much cardio, right, from wrestling. So I could just purely focus on the lifting. But now, since I don't have that, I got to be an average Joe Schmo, and say, all right, let's have a cup of coffee, and maybe we'll go for a run, or maybe we'll go for a bike ride, or whatever it is. And it's just not quite as fun as loading up a barbell and just having your head explode with blood pressure from screaming high intensity 1 rep maxing. Not nearly as fun. But that's really the biggest update as of right now. Terrible sleep, exhausted all the time. Gonna start doing a lot of cardio, try to strip some body fat, strip some face, neck fat, whatever. hopefully get some better sleep. Other than that, it's training on the road, and you guys see what I've done here. I've done a lot of keg training recently. The keg is great. It's really oversized. It's not like a keg. A real keg is a lot slimmer than this one, but this thing's awkward, and that's just why I wanted it in the first place. I wanted something that's awkward to simulate, grabbing a person basically and picking them up, like grabbing a person and picking them up. And I think that this keg, because it is so wide and all that, it's pretty similar actually. And the fact that it's loadable, I've had sandbags in the past, and sandbags are really good to clean and press. And this keg, in all honesty, feels very similar to cleaning and pressing than the sandbag. And I can bump this up in 2.5 pound increments, right? The heaviest I've went up to it so far on the keg was 250, I believe. 250 for the clean and press, and then a 315 just holding it and hipping it. But it's the rat's nest is so cluttered and dirty that it's just a giant pain in the ass, because I would love to take that keg and go outside with it and press it overhead and run around the neighborhood, or just get it to here where like all the delts and the traps are popping, and run around the neighborhood with it like that. That's something I want to do, but the rat's nest, as you have seen, is so cluttered that I can't really even get any equipment out. Like, how do I get that giant keg out of there without tripping and obliterating my skull or something like that by falling, having this giant keg smash my ACL, and then boom, impaling my orbital socket. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. That's hard to do. Something else, we're talking about cardio for you guys, and I want this to kind of be beneficial for you to watch this. Not just keep up with Sticky Ricky, see what's up with Sticky Ricky's life. I want you to try to get something out of it. So let's talk about things that maybe you can get something out of. If you like gym equipment, right? The keg is a worthwhile investment. That's my opinion. It's like $500 total with tax, so it's kind of pricey, but it's gonna last forever. Ultimately, it's a small footprint. It's wide, but it's a small footprint, because you can when you're not using it, you can store plates in it. Basically, you can put stuff in it like for storage. It's like functional strength. You can do heavy carries with it, clean and presses. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. You guys aren't low IQ. It's a keg. You know what I mean? It's just like functional odd lifting. On top of that, I was talking about cardio. Something else that I'm going to start doing for cardio, and it should be here tomorrow, is I ordered a long agility ladder. Because in the past, I used to do, like when I would do strength conditioning for the Wisconsin Badgers wrestling program, I did a lot of agility ladder drills to get the guys warmed up. And then later on, when I was doing more of like, when I was doing strength coaching for like high school programs, I would do that as well for warm up and just for agility. And then also for adults, like when I was doing personal training for conditioning, I would do agility ladder, and it just blew them up more than anything. More than like doing, high rep dumbbell stuff, more than just running. Because the agility ladder, it's kind of like short bursts of sprints in a sense, and it requires lateral movement. It requires like coordination. It requires using your brain with your footwork. So it's going to be more beneficial overall for like a physical and mental aspect. So I ordered the longest one I could find. Well, that's not true. It was the longest one I could find. I think it was like a Rogue one that was like 30 feet for $120. What a ripoff! Because for 7 less feet, 23 feet, Rogues, 30 feet, $120. This one on Amazon, 23 feet, $20 or something like that. Something cheap. Now we'll see if it's cheap when I get it, but ultimately you just need squares. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bunch of drills like that to warm up for getting my CNS firing, because it's like explosive sprints in a sense. Getting my body warmed up before lifting, and then after I lift, then I might do like a very short jog, because like my knees will be warm, my quads will be firing, my hamstrings will be firing, so it shouldn't be as hard on my knees. And also I've noticed with doing very short jogs, and this is why I'm doing it, because a lot of people think, heavy people shouldn't jog. And I've done ellipticals in the past. Yeah, it's joint friendly. I've ridden the bike, the wind sprints in the past, and then, get a nice juicy quad burn. But let me tell you guys something. When you're 100, when you're 270 plus pounds and you go for a run, and especially when you wear compression sleeves on your knees, the calf pump is out of this world. I'm talking about nothing pumps up my calves as much as just going for a jog when you're heavy. And I feel that so much in my calves and my ankles and my feet. So it's telling me that I'm going to get giant, thick, succulent, dense calves if I keep doing that. Not to mention it's going to strengthen my ankles, the muscles in my feet and ankles, which is good because I'll be less likely to probably roll my ankle in the ring or something like that. Because ultimately, injury prevention is key as well. All right, you get injured, you sit out for a long time, you can't, do squats, or you lose all sorts of gains. For me, it's my career, so it's good all around. So yeah, a thing to consider for you guys. It's cheap, fun cardio, agility ladder, right? I highly recommend if you guys don't do any sort of cardio, or even if you're an athlete or whatever, an agility ladder is a worthwhile investment. You got 2 in the hole, lateral, 2 in the hole, Icky shuffle. I can't remember all the names. Ali shuffle. You can jump, lateral jumps, 3 forward, 1 back, 3 forward, 1 back. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do. And when you do that kind of stuff too, it does work your brain as well.